Welcome to PhoneRadar. This is Chetan and this is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G smartphone from Xiaomi. The main specific feature or the specialty of the smartphone is the 4G connectivity, because Xiaomi had already come up with the Redmi Note and that had the 3G connectivity, and it had the MediaTek octa-core chipset, while this one comes with a Snapdragon 400 processor, and that is the reason why it can support the 4G LTE connectivity, and it supports the specific bands of TD-LTE and FD-LTE in India. So this is the Redmi Note 4G that comes with 2GB of RAM along with the Snapdragon 400 processor, 5.5-inch of 720p resolution display, and there's a camera combination of 13 megapixel rear camera as well as a 5 megapixel front facing camera. So these are the basic specifications, and in this video we'll be doing these 4 benchmark tests, and let us compare the score along with what we got in the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G's benchmark test. The first test is the AnTuTu benchmark test. So that's the HM Note 1 LTEW. So that is a code name, so ignorable, and we are starting the test now. So the test is completed, and the scores that we are getting here is the a very low and surprising score, that's 21,040, and when you compare this with the Redmi Note's scoring, that is 32,448, that was the result that we had got there. And in the description I'll be giving you a link of where a comparison would be there, so that you can even check out these scores of the multitasking, CPU integer, and even the RAM operation and speed, and the storage IO and database IO, because that is how we can understand why this device got such a low score. And even after this I'll be trying the test once again later on, so that I can get a confirmation whether this is actually the score that the smartphone got or not. But 21,040 is a very low score for a device that has some very good specifications, that is especially with the processor, which is not a bad one. It's a Snapdragon 400 chipset, and along with that there's even 2 GB of RAM along with it. So basically this is not a score that one would expect, but it has got that score. The next test that I'll be doing is the Quadrant standard test. So the test is completed, and again this is one surprising score, because that's 5912, a very low score, and what the Redmi Note 3G had got is 16,421, that is almost 3 times what the score here is, and that is again quite surprising. One reason why this could happen is that this is a quad-core chipset, and this benchmark test would take even the number of cores into consideration. But again, that is the only factor where these two devices differ, apart from the connectivity. Everything else is almost the same, so that is where we are kind of surprised why these are the scores that this device is getting. And now at least with this we can confirm that the AnTuTu scores are nowhere wrong, because even the Quadrant standard scores are lower than what one would expect from it. Now the next test that we are doing is the Velamo benchmark, and in Velamo we will be doing the multi-core test. the test is completed and it has got a score of 776, and I feel that is again a bit of on the lower end, and that is even lower than what you see on the Samsung Galaxy S3 that had a 1126 scoring. And I feel, I don't remember directly right now, but the Redmi 1S had a better score than this in the Velamo benchmark. I'll be again sharing the results with you later on in this video's description itself, so that you can judge based on that. So these were the benchmark tests, and now let us do a bit of performance check also on this device. I'll open a few applications such as gallery and camera and such things, have them open at the same time so that you can check whether these applications run pretty well or multitasking can happen properly or not. So in front of you, these are about 5 to 6 applications that are being opened right now. I'll even show you the multitasking bar so that you can see which applications were open and what's the status right now. So these are the applications that are running in the background. That's security, contacts, Play Store settings, themes, even the Velamo benchmark and gallery and music. And out of 2 GB, about 1189 MB is still available. So that is a good factor that a lot of RAM is freely still available when you are running these apps. And 1189 it was with these apps, but when you turn the camera on, let's now see if there's any difference. So 1044, 150 MB of RAM is being used by the camera. Now let me try to see whether the switching between applications is fast or not. So it's quite faster than what I recently saw with the other smartphones, and it's quite decent in that way because the application just move like a bookshelf where I'm just shifting through the pages and it keeps coming up and going up. So it's very easy to switch between the applications. There's no issues with the multitasking or such, and it's all good with that. But what we had seen in the benchmark scores, and that is one again the reason why we don't totally trust the benchmark results. We go with the daily usage and check out the performance of the smartphone. Now there are browsers, like there's a Google Chrome browser available in the device already. So this is the default browser from Xiaomi that we are going to test right now, and check out the website. That's PhoneRadar, and if you can see that the loading is quite neat and fast. The zooming through the pages is also good, but the only issue is that it might not be taking up a lot of load that easily or well, because if you see the page is going up and down, and there's a bit of loss of content suddenly. That is not something that we had seen in other smartphones as of late. So there's a bit of issue with the Google Chrome browser of this one. There's even touch to zoom and pinch to zoom, so those are the options here. So not really bad with the performance, but again we are testing the default browser from Xiaomi and not the Google Chrome browser. So we expect the Google Chrome to do a better job than this. Now let's open the YouTube app and try to play a video. I'll first push this to 720p, which is being shown here. I don't know why it's not showing 1080p, but still that's okay. And the playback looks very great, and you can see that there's no issues in the video playing. There's no loss of pixels or there's no slowing down of that, and that's quite expected, but still we had to show a proof of that. And that was the browser and also the YouTube video playing demo. So overall with the performance, we never had any issues with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G because it was doing very well with the multitasking, and in the 1 to 2 weeks of usage we are doing since, it is always been good and very responsive. MIUI usually said to be a bit laggy with time, but that didn't happen, at least for us till now. So it is all good with the performance, and this was the video about the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G's benchmark and also the performance review. So do like this video and share it on your social networks, and also subscribe to PhoneRadar for more videos.